Hi kind yogis, welcome to your Murrin Park Hatha class. Feel free to bring any props necessary to your mat today with you. We're going to do a practice that has very little weight on our hands. It's going to energize the body and leave us with a sense of peace and alertness throughout the rest of our day. Let's go ahead and get started in Virasana or sitting cross-legged with a block underneath the hips. Start by bringing your awareness to your breath. Close the eyes. And just relax all the muscles in your face, jaw, space between your eyebrows, and the neck. And stack each vertebrae one on top of the other in your spine so that your shoulders can relax on top of your hips. Find length through the crown of your head and a gentle tuck of the chin, that combination of humble integrity, or humble dignity rather. And take an inhale to inflate the torso, filling the bottom of the torso all the way down to your pelvis, and then up through to the crown of your head. And just visualizing today that your torso is like a three-dimensional container holding your breath. And together, breathe in to fill the belly, ribs, to your chest. Pause at the top. Keep the shoulders down from the ears. See if you can squeeze in a bit more air. And then through your nose, exhale to deflate your chest, ribs, belly. Push all the air out and hold on empty. Inhale, fill to the pelvis, rib cage, upper torso. Retain the air. Sip in a little bit more. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out every remaining molecule. Hold on empty. Inflate the belly, ribs, chest. Hold. See if you can stretch the lung tissue, take in a bit more. And then exhale to deflate the upper back, mid back, low back. Push all that air out and hold on empty. And take an inhale slowly, fluttering the eyes open. And on your exhale, just arriving here and now. Let's move through the wrists and the hands. And take your hands to clasp together and just roll a few circles through the wrists. And see if you can change directions. Good, stretch the knuckles forward. Take an inhale and reach up. On your exhale, flip the knuckles, round the back. And palms flip, inhale, reach up. Exhale, push the knuckles forward, round your upper back. And twice more, breathe in. Breathe out. One more, inhale. And exhale. This time, reach up. Exhale your left hand down beside you. Reach your right arm over, finding a nice side bend. Keep the neck long, avoiding dropping into the left side of the waist. Just maintaining a bit of space there. Good, and then reach up and switch sides. Right arm to the ground. Reach your left arm up and over. And creating a stretch through the side body. Do this about 3 to 5 more times, flowing and moving with your own breath. And just finding a rhythm here. Making this movement as smooth and flowy as possible. Good, and then come back to center. Take the finger pads behind you, prop the heart up to the sky, and take 3 long breaths into the heart space. Just stretching the lung tissue against the walls of the chest. Good. Opening the eyes if they're closed. Lean your weight forward and we'll come into our tabletop posture. Knees are underneath the hips. Finding a neutral spine, go ahead and spread the fingers wide And we'll just take a few circles over the wrists. You can send the hips back and then forward. Just slowly, progressively adding weight to the hands without it being our full body weight. Notice if the arches of your hands start to lift up. That's kind of that skin or the space between the index and the thumb in the palm. Can you keep it rooted down throughout your practice? We won't have too many downward dogs today, but we're just going to find one here to start. So lift your hips up with bent knees. Let the crown of the head relax. And just inverting the body. Allow the blood to flow in the opposite direction as the heart. Take a full breath in. And on your exhale, walk your feet. Take your time towards your hands at the front of the mat. Just noticing the sense of your feet in contact with the earth below you. And take an inhale and lengthen. On your exhale, relax and fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle your arms to the sky, reach up. And on your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And pressing into the palms, can you roll the shoulder blades down the back? And just find a moment here in mountain posture. Circle the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, hinge and fold forward over your legs. Lengthen your spine and breathe in. On your exhale, step the right leg back and release the knee down onto the earth. Start with your hands on the thigh and just lunge nice and low into the legs, finding a stretch through the right hip flexor. Can you lengthen through the crown, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and then inhale the arms overhead. Clasp the hands together, lift the palms to the sky. Maybe shine the heart forward and up. And take several deep breaths here. Just indulging in this beautiful opening across the body. Enjoying this length and space you're creating in your architecture. Good, release the hands down. Tuck the toes and step forward. Let's inhale and lengthen. Exhale the hands to the earth. Go ahead and step your left foot way back. Release the knee down. Go ahead and start by just bringing the hands across your right thigh. So option 1, you can stay here. Or option 2, you might again take the arms up overhead, spin the knuckles back, palms towards the sky, and breathe into the left side body now. So creating space here along the left psoas muscle that runs across the hips and the top of that thigh, all the way through the low back. Good. Circle the hands to the mat and pick up your back knee and step forward. Lengthen as you breathe in. Fold as you breathe out. Inhale, rise up and reach up. Clasp your hands together at the top. On your exhale, find a side bend to the right. Inhale through center. Side bend to your left. Inhale, center. And to your right. Center. And to your left. And center. Breathe in, reach up. Fold forward over your legs. And flat back stretch as you inhale. Fold as you exhale. And step your right foot way back. Release the knee down to the mat once again. Go ahead, option to modify. Bring the hands to rest on the knees. Or this time, inhale, the arms come up overhead. Clasp your hands together. Once again, find a side bend to your left. And to your right. Inhale through center. Lift up and back. Breathe in, lengthen. Hands to the mat, exhale. Step forward, flat back stretch when you get there. Breathe in. And fold as you breathe out. Rise up, circle the arms to the sky, full breath in. Go ahead and fold forward, breathe out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step your left foot back, release the knee down, and we'll find one more side bend. So you can inhale, reach your arms up overhead or modify. Exhale, side bend to your left. Inhale, side bend to your right. Once more to the left. Once more to the right. Hands circle to the floor and then lift to the front of your mat. Flat back stretch as you breathe in. Fold as you breathe out. And step your right foot behind the left. And walk your hands slowly either to a block on the left side or to the outsides of the feet. Close your eyes, release any effort you're holding in your neck, and just take a couple of breaths here as you lengthen through your iliotibial band on the right side. And just find a forward fold here. 3 breaths. Okay, and then come back to center and we'll find the second side. Right foot underneath the hip, step your left foot behind and to the right, and gently walk the finger pads either to the right side on the floor or to a block. And let any effort you're holding in the neck release. And just take several long breaths. Good. Walk the hands back through center. Step your feet together. Separate your heels. And take a deep bend through your knees, and let's find chair posture. So hips go back, bring the weight of your body into your heels, maybe even floating or dorsiflexing the toes. And if you have any tension in the neck or the shoulders, bring the hands through to heart center. Otherwise, just keep the palms overhead. Breathe in and out of your nose as you sit into this challenge. And focus your gaze on one spot, and try to keep your eyes from wandering. Returning to your long, smooth inhales and exhales. Can you sit a little lower? Mountain pose as you exhale. Good. Chair pose, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Lengthen, inhale. Fold as you exhale. And plant your palms, step your feet back. Finding a plank, but right away tap the knees down and come all the way to your belly. Good. Untuck your toes. Press down through the tops of your feet. Let's inhale to light up the lower back. Lift the head and chest. Point the elbows straight back behind you and maybe hover the hands. Maintain length in the back of your neck and just see if you can focus this on lifting up the lower ribs as opposed to your gaze. So just avoiding crunching in the neck. We're focusing on targeting the low back. Can you lift a little higher? 3, 2, and 1. Relax down and tuck your toes. Inhale to a tabletop. On your exhale, find Anahastasana instead of downward dog. So relax the forehead down, let the sit bones lift up towards the head, close the eyes. 2 breaths. Good. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders and tense your fingertips to create space. We're gonna step this left foot forward, and right away, we're gonna spin the back heel down and we'll rise up. So we're gonna find warrior 2. So arms tee out to the sides. We're pressing into the pinky toe edge of that back foot. The right foot is rooting down into the earth. And just taking several deep breaths here. And can you squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you and roll them down and away from the ears? If you're arching in your low back, can you get long and neutral? Inhale to reverse your warrior and stay here as you exhale. Just breathing into your right side body, option to look up towards the sky or maybe towards the floor beside you. And return to your warrior 2, lengthen your front leg. Inhale to reach forward, option to bring that right hand to a block or the mat or even your shin. See if you can glide the right rib cage underneath the left, creating a stacking sensation. And then instead of thinking about just stretching this front leg, can you also think about growing long and expanding through all 5 points of the body? So all the way through the crown of your head, through the wingspan, and through both soles of the feet. A couple more deep breaths here. Good. From here, bring that left hand to the hip. We're gonna rotate to face the long edge of the mat. Pigeon toe your feet just slightly and take an inhale, lengthen. And on your exhale, slowly start to bow forward over the legs. Draw the crown of the head towards the earth. So just take a few breaths here in this big forward bend as we start to loosen the hamstrings and the low back. Maybe just a really subtle tilt of the left pelvis, or the left hip rather, towards the earth. Feel the stretch through the inner groin. And then rotate, dropping that right inner hip down. And then the left, so kind of just swaying the hips side to side. Good, and then from here, let's take hold of the ankles, turn the elbows out to the sides. You can hold the shins as well. Breathe in, find a flat spine. And on your exhale, start to draw the head a little closer to the earth. Shoulders stay down and away from the ears. Close the eyes. Can you get active slightly through your quads? And then tilt your sit bones up a little higher as you push your heels firmer into the earth. Deep breaths. Good. Slowly start to lift and lengthen. Let's take the hands towards the right ankle. And just finding one more deep stretch across the back of that leg. And then walk the hands through center and take hold of the left ankle or shin. Good. Bring the left hand underneath the face and then inhale the right arm all the way up towards the sky. Continuing to find length through the neck as it supports the weight of the head. And can you really just here relish in this full body opening? Not only are we creating this beautiful spinal twist, but we're also just finding space. Right hand to the earth, we'll switch sides. Left arm reaches up. Good, and then bring the hand back to the earth. Let's pivot to face the front of the mat. And then see if we can bend that back knee. Practicing our balance, we're gonna make our way into eagle. So looking forward, when you're ready, start to lift that thigh, come to standing and wrap it around the right leg. Hook the toes if it's available. Begin to wrap your left elbow underneath the right and bring the palms to join in front of the face. And can you elevate the elbows so they're in line with the shoulders? And squeeze them together. Find length through the crown as you slide the spine down an imaginary wall behind you. And take a couple more deep breaths here. Good. Left knee to the chest, take a breath in. The eagle arms, and on your exhale, trace your gaze along the floor as you start to kick that left leg back behind you. Brace through the core. Option to modify by sending the arms behind you. Holding here, can you level the hips? Big breath in. And on your exhale, step your left foot back halfway. Spin the toes down and lengthen the leg. Bring the hands to the hips. Take an inhale and lengthen up tall. And on your exhale, bow forward over the legs. Option to place your hands on 2 blocks at the highest height, or option to stay folded over with your hands on the mat. And finding this beautiful opening now through the back of the right leg. Option for a twist here if you like. If you can keep your pelvis level, reach the arm up, the right one. If it feels a little bit too much strain on the hips or the low back or the neck, bring that right hand to the sacrum, the small triangle bone at the bottom of your spine. And breathe here. 5 breaths. When you're ready, take a bend in your front knee, step the feet together at the front of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. And chair pose as you breathe in. Mountain pose as you breathe out. Good, we'll move into the second side. So chair pose, inhale. Mountain or fold forward, chair pose, inhale. Fold forward as you exhale. Flat back stretch, inhale. Fold, exhale. Plank pose as you breathe in. Knees to the mat, come all the way to the earth. This time, we'll work on Shalabhasana. So send the head and chest up as you breathe in. Option to stay, or you can lift both feet up off of the earth with the legs if it's available. Holding here. I'm on an angle on this rock, so it looks like I'm not lifting my legs, but they are lifting. Holding where you are. Maybe send the arms back behind you, palms face down. Breathe in. Lower as you exhale. And take 2 breaths of rest. Good, and then tilt your head back to center. Let's take the arms out to the sides, cactus at 90. You're going to press into the hands, inhale to lift up, finding this modified upward dog, so a high cobra. Option to stay here if this feels good for you, or if you want the shoulder stretch, drop this right shoulder down towards the earth. It might not touch, but we're still going to aim for that spot. And then lifting back up, lengthen, breathe in, lift. Exhale the left shoulder down. Do that again, lift and lengthen, inhale. Exhale to relax down. One more time, lift, inhale. Relax as you exhale. Lift up, breathe in. Lower everything, breathe out. Hands under the shoulders, lift to tabletop. And then step your left foot forward this time. So we're coming into the second side of our lunges. When you're ready, we're actually going to rise right up, finding our warrior 2. And so sending the arms out in opposite sides of the body. Press into this pinky toe edge of your back foot. Feel free to kind of fidget around with the feet until you find that spot. And then we're going to root down into the earth. Deep front bend in your front knee. Neutral low back and brace through the core. Look over the front hand. Breathe. Flip the left palm. Inhale to reverse, side bend. And stay as you exhale. Little to hand. Keeping that bend in your front knee. Good. And then return to your warrior 2. Lengthen your left knee. Set up a block if you need to on the inside of the foot. Let's inhale, reach the arms out and forward. On the exhale, left hand to a block or the shin. Reach the right arm up, or even bring the hand towards the lower back, opening the elbow back behind you. And several deep breaths, using the strength of your neck to hold the head. And grow long through the body. Good, and then from here, returning to our warrior 2, take a deep bend in the front knee, and then let's pivot to the back or the right side of the mat now. Toes turned out, bend into goddess posture. So deep bend in your knees, they're in line with the toes. Notice if you're rounding the back, can you open the chest? Sit a little bit lower. And squeeze the shoulder blades together, hug the muscles in your arms to the bone. Bring your hands to the hips and let's pivot towards the front of the mat. We're once again going to try to come into eagle from here. So you're going to lift right knee to chest. Use the hands to help you if you need. See if you can wrap this leg around. And this time, right arm comes underneath the left. And sit nice and low as you squeeze the thighs together. you're ready, inhale the knee to the chest. And on your exhale, begin to lean the weight forward. Option to send the arms back behind you or keep them coiled together. Can you level this right hip? Drop it down in line with the left. Strength of the left leg is really fired up here. And step the right foot to the middle of the mat, toes turned out at an angle, hands to the hips, lengthen, breathe in, straighten the front knee. Without locking it into place, can you hinge at the hips and fold forward, hands to blocks or the mat. Close the eyes. Just let the head relax in Parsvottanasana posture. Option for Parivrita Trikonasana, so right hand stays rooted, left arm can reach up or to the sacrum. Just creating the twist from the navel up. Bend the knee, step forward, lengthen and breathe in, fold and breathe out. Chair pose as you inhale, mountain as you exhale. Good, let's take an inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Flat back, breathe in. Passive fold, breathe out. Deep bend in the knees, sit the hips low, hands to your heart. Find your prayer twist. Either side works. Hook the elbows around the knees. And turn your gaze to one side of the space. And thinking about, instead of turning the knees and the hips, keep them facing forward. Twist at the waist so that you can start to tilt the sternum towards the sky. Can you sit a little lower? Hands to the heart, inhale. Second side as you exhale. Hook the elbows first and then twist. Hands to the heart, inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale to fold forward. Lengthen, breathe in. And fold, breathe out. Bending into the knees. Come to sit down into Dandasana posture. So I'm going to turn to face the other side of the mat. For Dandasana, I'm just coming to sit down into staff posture. So your legs are long and the toes are flexed up towards you. You can roll the shoulder blades down the back and then get active through the legs. So dorsiflex the toes, tighten or put tension into your quads to push the hamstrings down. And see, notice if you start to curl the upper back, see if you can find length. Close the eyes and take a few breaths here. Good. We're going to take a bend in this left knee. Lengthen as you breathe in, reach your left arm up. And on your exhale, reaching forward, either for the foot or the ankle, whatever's available for you. You can also use a strap here, looping it around the ball of the right foot and just helping you to get a little bit more grip on that foot. We're going to be here for a little bit longer. Keep hugging your left knee in towards the side body. And then slowly rising up. Just let that left knee drop. And let's bring this right elbow or hand to the inside of that thigh. And we'll just take a nice big side bend. So you can even actually rest, if your elbow comes to the floor, you can rest your hand on your head. You can also even place a block on a higher height on the floor and rest the elbow there. And then send the left hand just to the back of the head, allowing it to kind of relax in space as we take a nice opening through the left side body. Good, release that left hand down. Bring the left hand behind you, right hand to your knee, and just create a gentle twist. Good, come back to center. And then let's switch sides. So right foot comes to the inside of your left thigh. Left leg is long. Take a breath in, reach the right arm up. On your exhale, hook the toes or a strap around the ball of the foot. You're gonna lengthen and inhale. And on your exhale, fold forward, continuing to hug the right knee in towards the right side body. Close your eyes and find some deep breaths. And relax the head. Go ahead and rise up. And then drop this right knee down. This time, bring your left elbow to a block on the inside, either of the shin or the thigh, depending on where your mobility allows you to reach. Maybe you have that elbow on the mat, and then just take this right arm all the way up and over. Allow it to just kind of relax here. You can even just have it hanging in space, just like this. And gravity kind of does that work for you. And continuing to think about opening that right elbow back. So you're rotating the chest towards the sky. And 2 more deep breaths. Windmill this right hand down behind you. Left hand comes to the knee and twist. Beautiful. Come back to center. And we're actually going to pivot towards the long edge of the mat. So take your legs out nice and long. And we'll come into a wide-legged forward bend. So you might have this wide V. Yours might be more narrow. There's no right or wrong. Think about an anterior tilt of your pelvis. So you're going to drop the pelvis forward so your sit bones shoot back. Lengthen as you breathe in. Option 1, stay here. Or option 2, fold forward over the legs. Just taking several deep breaths here. Option 2, lower down onto the ground or keep yourself elevated. And this is super chill yoga today. There's nowhere you need to be, or there's no rush. Don't worry about what pose is coming next. And then take your time, rising up. Good, let's bring the soles of the feet to connect. Once again, lengthen, anterior tilt to your pelvis, breathe in. On your exhale, fold forward. And then rise up. And come to relax down onto your back. We'll just come into bridge posture. We won't be here too long. Walk the heels towards the glutes and take an inhale to elevate walk your heels towards your glutes, arms alongside the body. And take an inhale, push down through the feet, lift the hips up. And stay here, or as you exhale, feel free to clasp your hands together underneath your back, lifting the femur bones towards the sky. And squeezing the glutes just lightly to lift the pelvis a little higher. Press down through the heels and the triceps. And then slowly lower 1 vertebrae at a time. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. And then see if you can hug that knee in towards the body. And just finding thread the needle, stretching the left IT. Maybe even circle out your right ankle a few times, nice and slowly. Just articulating that joint that gets really stiff, holding our body weight all of the time. And then switch. This time, the right ankle crosses over the left leg and pull the knee in towards the body. Relax the jaw, close the eyes. Okay, and then we'll just bring the knees to bend at 90. Let them drop to the right. Tee out the arms and tilt your head in the opposite direction. And just take a moment to breathe a breath of gratitude for this incredible body. It's a lot of work to love it when we're working against systematic oppression with diet culture and the way we should look as humans. But it's okay to appreciate our body and to accept it and to work towards equanimity and just gratitude for all that it does for us. Bring the knees to center and then switch sides. Breath of gratitude for your health. Breath of gratitude for your physical and mental capabilities. And come back to center. Adjust your hips so they're level on the mat. And then extend your legs long and coming to find your final Shavasana. Just relaxing the shoulder blades under the back. Let the toes and the feet flop out to the sides. Soften through the hands and just allow your toe pads and your finger pads to be antennas, sensing all around you, taking in information without the need to think or judge it, just noticing. And slowing down the breath, slowing down the body, to in turn work to slow down the mind. I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for 5 minutes, just resisting any urges to fidget or wiggle or move. This is the most important part of our practice. It's what we've been working towards all of class. This is our peak posture. Thank you so much for caring for yourself. May any merit that you generated from this practice today be directed outwards to all sentient beings around the world. From my heart to yours, namaste.